Roxie is so cracked that she challenged league-level Ash to a 3-on-6 and still backhanded him into reality. This is the gym leader who turned Pokemon battles into a punk concert, steamrolled every challenger, and sent people crawling to Nurse Joy with tinnitus and crushed dreams. Her coughing doesn't just float, it bounces heads off the wall, all while her fans are cheering for your downfall. If you left her gym with only ringing ears, congratulations, you were one of the lucky ones. And somehow, underneath all that chaos, Roxie is genuinely one of the nicest and most alive gym leaders Unova ever had. Roxie is the poison-type gym leader of Burbank City in the Unova region, and the bass guitarist of the popular punk rock band Coughing and the Toxics. Her gym is a test of how many antidotes you can use in a single gym run. Unless you chose Snivy, then it's a test of how quickly you regret choosing a grass starter. She seems to have implemented the aspects of a music concert in her gym challenge, making a battle with her a grand performance. Loud music, a rowdy crowd, and all the pressure of being an outsider in the spotlight. Coupled with being faced against poison types, you're in for a messy and ugly battle that slowly chips away at your sanity. As a character, she represents a generation of gym leaders who didn't grow up idolizing the league. They grew up doing what they love, and sometimes it can work out, and other times you need a second job. Roxie is first introduced when a trainer rushes into the Pokemon Center with his poisoned Pokemon. Nurse Joy is completely unfazed, like, just another day. Ash learns this was the work of Roxie, a gym leader with poison types so deadly that half the town needed therapy. A bunch of random people come out like, yeah, she mopped the floor with me too. The way they hype her up, you'd think she has an Eternatus in her back pocket. Ash, naturally, is like, cool, where do I sign up? And heads off into a dingy alleyway, because of course, Unova's poison gym is located in the most suspicious place possible. They walk in on Roxie absolutely smoking some poor challenger's Gothitelle with her coughing, leaving it hanging on for dear life. The kid leaves in tears, and Roxie instantly calls for the next victim. That victim is Ash. She introduces herself and immediately vibes with him when she finds out he's from Pallet Town and has Pikachu. She's had a soft spot for Kanto ever since she traveled there while on tour and met her coughing, and they've been best friends ever since. Ash pulls out his Pokedex like he hasn't battled James's coughing 400 times already. Roxie proudly announces she's in one of Unova's top punk bands, Coughing and the Toxics. This, along with her typing, matches her name perfectly, meaning rock and toxic, with a pinch of cuteness, and surprise surprise, she's a poison-type gym leader who's a rock star. Silent and Iris point out that no challenger can think straight with this much noise. Ash is like, it's on, and challenges her, nearly blowing up the lights in the process for fun. Roxie, extremely overconfident, agrees to a 3-on-6 battle on one condition, that you subscribe to my channel if you're enjoying the video so far, so we can reach our monthly goal of 1,300 subs, and as always, 100 likes. It's a big goal, but I really feel an awesome community growing. Basically, what Roxie was trying to say is, I could beat you with one hand tied behind my back. She opens with her ridiculously fast coughing against Ash's slow as balls Boldore. Boldore sets up Sandstorm, but Roxie clears it away with Clear Smog, then slams Boldore with Gyro Ball. Sludge Bomb shortly follows to nullify Flash Cannon, and another Gyro Ball finishes Boldore off while it's trying to set up Sandstorm. Ash sends out Unpheasant. It gets a few good hits, and even uses Gust to blow Will-O-Wisp back at coughing, but Roxie's coughing just refuses to go down. Then it enters the zone and uses Sludge Bomb to deal serious damage and poison Unpheasant. Coughing dodges some attacks and makes use of its trusty Gyro Ball to brute force its way through Unpheasant, who drops while coughing still looks fine. Then comes Leavenny, who Roxie mocks until Leavenny locks in. It lands Energy Ball, traps coughing with String Shot, swings it around like a carnival ride, and finally takes out what might be the strongest coughing in anime history. Clean performance. Roxie compliments Ash for winning a bad matchup and sends out Scolipede. Scolipede is unaffected by Razor Leaf and poisons Leavenny with Toxic. Here we go again. The poison chips away at Leavenny. It tries to get some damage off, but its moves are dodged. Scolipede uses Rock Tomb just so Roxie can say, let's rock. haha, get it? And it finishes off Leaveney with Sludge Bomb. Those were some heavy hits. Apparently Roxie is in serious mode now, which she mentions every 5 seconds. Ash is still confident and sends out Pignite, who goes for Flame Charge. Roxie sees through Ash's tactics and cancels it with a loud screech. Somehow, they clash with Flamethrower and Sludge Bomb, which cancel each other out, but Pignite follows with a swift Flame Charge. Scolipede gets back up, dodges Flamethrower, and lands a signature Toxic. Pignite powers through the poison and fire pledges the floor, sending a fiery shockwave to take out Scolipede. Roxie prepares to send out her last Pokemon and does a Goku by giving Pignite a Sensu Bean, a Pecha Berry, to cure the poison. She sends out Garbodor, the ugliest Pokemon of all time. Pignite goes for Flame Charge, while Garbago uses its Extendo arms to dodge it and sit on Pignite, then slap the bacon out of it. Ash notices that Garbodio is vulnerable when dodging with its Extendo arms, and baits it into doing so with a Flamethrower, only to follow up with a Tackle, which sends it crashing down. Pignite's Fire Pledge is caught by the soft blue padding on Garbaloni's hand, and it uses a Throw attack and follows with a Double Slap, which slaps Pignite about 300 times and gets blown away by Hyper Beam. Loser Palpitoad comes out and uses Mud Shot, which is easily dodged. They clash Hyper Beam with Hydro Pump, and it turns out Garbagor doesn't need to recharge, so it Gunk Shots to overpower the Mud Shot and poison Palpitoad. This amplifies the following Venoshock to double the power, which renders Palpitoad unable to attack, but still standing. One more Venoshock sends it packing. All that's left is Pikachu, and Ash is all in. Double Slap is dodged by Pikachu, and Gardevoir gets its arms tangled like some shoelaces, leaving it open to a hard quick attack. Pikachu starts skipping over Garbuncle's arms to burn some extra fat for the summer, and zaps the filth out of Garbodog. But it's not going down that easily. It smacks Pikachu while Pikachu is mid-air using Iron Tail, and suddenly Gargoyle is on the offense, firing off a chain of Gunk Shots which seem to miss as much as in-game, and grab Pikachu before dropping and double slapping it. Ash enjoys the slapping show until Garbagor gets paralyzed from static and finally lands a Gunk Shot, which poisons Pikachu too. Silent and Iris have dressed up to become the standout members of the crowd to motivate Ash. Garbodor charges up Gunk Shot and is halted by paralysis, even though it should be out of PP anyway, so Pikachu zaps it and finishes it off with a super-powered Electro Ball. Garbage is unable to battle, and Roxie rewards him with a badge and a Pecha Berry, both served with a smile. Ash pretends that he won because of Silent and Iris, and not because Roxie let him use 6 Pokemon. This really shows the strength of Roxie. In a 3v6, she pushed Ash to his limits, and may I emphasize, this is League level Ash. To be fair, Ash didn't even look bad. Roxie was just that good. Roxie makes her first appearance in the sequel Generation 5 games in Black and White 2 as the second gym leader, quite a difference from her being the 8th in the anime. You stumble upon her telling her dad to get real as he's still pursuing his movie star dream, while Roxie wants him to focus on being a good captain. As soon as he's gone, she lets her anger out like we all did as kids after our parents upset us, by calling him a dim-witted, dense-dumb, daft, dippy, dorky, doltish doofus. I feel like the roles should be reversed, as in her dad telling her to give up her Rockstar career and focus on being a gym leader. You find her gym in some alley and walk into a live concert where Roxie and her band are on stage. If you try to challenge her, she won't hear a thing you're saying, so you've got to shut up her bandmates one by one to decrease the noise in the room. If you talk to her bandmates, one of them threatens to knock you out if you get in the way, and knock you out even if you stay out of the way. Bit rude, but okay. Once that's all done, the gym will be quiet enough for Roxie to hear your challenge. Once you talk to Roxie, she threatens to knock some sense out of you. What's with this gym and knocking people? She leads with that coughing, which is 100% going to poison you with smog and do a number on your team. Her only other Pokemon is Whirlipede, who is a tough cookie, and if you're poisoned, be ready for Venoshock to one-shot you with double damage. It's ridiculous the amount of damage this Pokemon puts out so early in the game. So the strategy is just to, I don't know, crit it? That's what I did. And if you chose Snivy, then the strategy strategy is rethink your early game choices because it will go down and you will feel helpless. After the battle, you'll find Roxie and your rival getting ready to take on Team Plasma 2 versus 3. So of course you agree to make it a 3 versus 3 and the battle starts. Actually, it doesn't, and you're free to leave without helping them, which is pretty crazy. Mainly because Team Plasma are awfully polite and wait for you to be ready before battling. When you're done with that nonsense, you'll find Roxie having a conversation with her dad and finally accepting his acting career. The final time you'll meet Roxie is in the Pokemon World Tournament, where she again threatens to knock sense out of you. Here she has a hefty team: Lychee Berry Scolipede with Mega Horn, Rock Slide, Earthquake, and Toxic Spikes, Salic Berry Garbodor with Gunk Shot and Rock Blast, Brave Birding U-Turn Crobat, which does way more damage than its stats suggest, and Drapion, who is just so bulky and won't go away. So Viper and Amoonguss aren't really threats but can be super annoying with Glare, Spore, and Toxic. She's actually one of the easier battles in the tournament, but that Scolipede is going to keep your hands full. In Pokemon Adventures, Whitley falls asleep and Blake decides the best thing to do is take her to the loudest concert possible featuring Roxie. It's revealed Roxie is quite popular among teens, so when they have a dumb waste of time not useful for the plot choir tournament, everyone is ecstatic to hear that Roxie is a special guest judge. Blake's team wins the school choir tournament and they're invited to the national choir tournament. Geez, the filler never ends. Roxie introduces her dad as a ship captain and a former aspiring movie star who takes them to Castalia City for the tournament. She leaks that she agreed to be a judge thanks to Blake and Whitley saving her dad from his ridiculous dream. They played roles in a movie a while back and supposedly did such an amazing job that her dad was like, "Holy smokes, this competition is too fierce for an old geezer like me," and came back to reality as a full-time captain. Once the ship arrives, Roxie finds a member of the executive committee for the tournament in a rough condition. He had his Pokemon stolen by Team Plasma and egg and tomato splattered on his head. The crew and Roxie run off to find Team Plasma in the sewers, who have an army of muck as backup and end up splitting up the group. Roxie isn't afraid of being outnumbered at all and starts brawling with Whirlipede at her side, but is having a rather tough time due to acid armor increasing Muck's defense to no end. Whitley uses Clear Smog to eliminate the stat changes, which annoys the Team Plasma grunts after their long setup, and they run away leaving the stolen Carablast. Roxie compliments her strategy by saying that her trainer school must be amazing academically and gives a cheeky wink for Professor Cherin. When everyone goes back to regroup at the ship, they all get put to sleep by a rat in the group. They wake up thanks to Benga, a delinquent student and grandson of Alda, who informs them of Castelia being frozen over by Team Plasma. Roxie and Cherin agree to help them fight and head off, but they aren't contactable during most of the main conflict, so maybe she was doing some behind-the-scenes work. She does come back for the graduation, and that's it for her. No cool battles, unfortunately. If you made it this far, then you are a rock star just like Roxie. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to sub, leave a like, and comment on where Roxie ranks in your Unova gym leaders list. For me, I'd put her in the top 3, as she was refreshing to have added to the roster in Black and White too. See you all in the next one.